Welcome to the Bhakti Zone podcast, your place where we discuss all things devotional, heart, and transcendentally related. We are your hosts. I'm Vishrambar and
Dayal. And it's been a long time. We have been quite busy. It's been a festival, we had Kirtan Mela, you had retreats, and I had Kirtan Academy. Oh my God, we had so many things going on. And we kind of decided to start again and maybe catch up on what was going on in our lives. And also we have something exciting to announce, because we're preparing a very, very special event, a special training, which we'll be talking about today. But for now, I just wanted to ask Vish, so how have been, I don't know, like half a year? I don't know how long we haven't been.
Well, luckily we've been together, right? And we've been in a lot of kirtans together since our last podcast. And I guess what's coming to mind really was the amazing experience of Mayapur Kirtan Mela. I was just thinking of the progression of how this Kirtan Mela kind of started here in Mayapur from what I can remember, from my perspective. In 2002, I think in 2002 or 2001, like around that time, Tamal Krishna Maharaj had started to do these gatherings in his room of Kirtan. And a lot of devotees started going to that, and it was like really focused, and people were feeling very enthused by that, and they were doing it continuously every day. And I believe it's in 2002 that he passed away.
Right.
So after he passed away, the next year, 2003, I was here in Mayapur, and they kept it going. Every evening, Kirtan in the temple room. After Gora Arti, we would just sit down in the temple room and do Kirtan. And, it was, I don't know, maybe 50, maybe 100, maybe 200 people, but a small group, but we just sit and do Kirtan. And I feel like that kind of, it started this culture, or revived this culture of Kirtan here in Mayapur. Of course, I think 2005 was the installation.
2004.
And then Indra Prabhu came, and, all the greatest Kirtaniyas of our ISKCON movement, Vyasaki Prabhu, Bibi Govinda Maharaj, Shivaram Maharaj, Loknath Maharaj. I mean, everybody, Madhava was here. Everybody was here for that year. And it wasn't a Kirtan Mela per se. I think the next generation, they don't know that there was a time where there wasn't Kirtan Melas, where there wasn't Kirtan festivals going on in our movement. And it was just ecstatic. I mean, 2004, the Kirtans of that year, what I did hear was that all of the recordings from that year, the hard drive got wiped out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not existing?
They don't exist.
Oh my God.
Because I was traveling with Loknath Maharaj at that time, and I was like looking for, trying to find the recordings, and the hard drive, it bursts or whatever. So there's a couple of snippets here and there, pre cell phone. I don't think the next generation knows there was a time before cell phones, right? Before everyone had their own camera, right? You just were in the moment, and you didn't, But I remember those moments. It was amazing. And what year did the actual so then Indra Prabhu kept coming after that? He came for a few years after that. Yes. At least till 2010. Nice. He passed away in 2010, so till 2009. And then they started Kirtan Mela. We worked together for the first one.
Yeah.
When was that?
So
12?
Yeah, it was 2000. I think it was 2012 exactly. So I just wanted to come back to, because I was here in 2002. It was my actually first time coming to India, and I got initiated on Gaura Purnima 2002, and so it was after Tamal Krishna Maharaj passed away, and I've been to some of those kirtans. I'm not sure if he did kirtans 1 year before, but definitely it was a prominent
that year.
After GBC meetings, it was like we all go, we all chant, and Shivaram Maharaj, Bibi Govinda Swami, Niranjana Swami, they will all come in, Bhakticharu Maharaj. So it was very, very memorable thing. And then 2003, I don't think I was there. Well, yeah, but yeah, I remember it was like a special Guru Purnima celebration where all the seniors came. It was a lot of kirtan. I think it was in Bhakticharu Maharaj's room, special, commemoration of Tamal Krishna Maharaj, a lot of kirtan. And then I come back on 2004, and this was the year also when Sridhar Maharaj passed away,
right.
And so there was also kirtan in his room, every night, and Niranjana Maharaj tells a lot of stories about that. And of course,
you mentioned Sridhar Maharaj. I had a really humbling experience, very humbling experience. And these are things that, especially when someone is passing from this world, what they speak and their realizations, such an exalted personality like him, it's something to remember. I went into his room, and there was a few other people doing kirtan there, and I don't quite remember my thoughts at the time, but I must have gotten bored or for some reason I left, and he noticed that I left. And he started speaking about the mood of kirtan, and he said, just like, it is very humbling because I heard about this from other people after. He said, just like that boy, he came in here thinking that he's a great kirtaniya, and then he saw that others were singing and he wasn't getting a chance, so he left. And he said, so that's not the mood of a kirtaniya. The mood of a kirtaniya is that you sit and that you experience other people's kirtans, and you participate and you support other people's kirtans. Anyways, since that time, it was a great lesson for me. And then I don't think I actually interacted with him in person after that, although I was here when he passed away, and I did get to sing when he was being put in his samadhi.
Wow.
So
Nice.
in that time I tried to serve him in that way, but it was like a lot of people, they ask me what does it take to be a kirtaniya, or what does it take? And we've talked about this before, but one of my go-tos is support other kirtans, sit in other people's kirtans, learn from that, experience what they're doing, and just sing the response. And it's such a great way to learn how to train your voice to sing. When you sing in response, you learn new tunes. You can watch how the kirtan singer is orchestrating their kirtan. And I feel like every single kirtan I've been in, that I've supported someone else's kirtan, some of their spiritual mood, maybe it comes into the heart, and I progressed just a little bit. So anyways, totally sidebar, but wanted to share that.
It's a very good sidebar. Yeah. It's actually very important. It's something which I also meditate a lot when come to kirtans of others, and when you just focus, because sometimes you get a tune which you cannot really connect, and it's a little bit struggle, but as long as you can connect, and I think it's a level of spiritual, purity or advancement. Sometimes tune is important, or the voice or the leader is more important. For you to be able to connect with some, it's easier because of their, somehow, it's not that they are more pure, but it's just, it resonates somehow with your inner mood, and this, then it come in kind of synergy, and it's easier, and you can fully be absorbed. And sometimes it's a struggle, but nevertheless, I know what you mean when you're saying that, if you focus on chanting your part, which is in response, the best way, and focus on your mood connecting with Krishna, it is as good as leading, actually, because that's when you lead, you naturally have to do it, because, if you're not connected, what are the chances for others to be connected in a kirtan? But when you do it in response, it doesn't really matter, you chant, you don't chant, but it matters for personal spiritual development. It also matters for for personal ability to actually relish and be there and, quote unquote, enjoy the kirtan, because you can connect on the same level or almost on the same level as when you lead the kirtan. So I think it's thank you for sharing that. This is something which I was meditating a lot, and we speak in Kirtan Academy a lot with the students. Anyway, sidebar, back to the main bar.
The history of Kirtan Melas.
Kirtan Melas. And so I remember distinctly this 2004. I thought even I saw some videos, because like if I close my eyes, I see, sitting in front the Madhava chanting this tune, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So I remember it was like a tune, for me it was a tune of 2004. Because I've heard this melody before, but he kind of, for me, gave a new life. First of all, he switched the parts, because usually you go with the lower part, the other thing. So, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I want to get into it.
Yeah.
And so, he, Bibi Govinda Swami, of course, Indra Prabhu, Gauranga, I remember, was a, Mridanga player, he was super young. And they, Vrindavan was there, and they all had this, like, Harinam turbans, like,
the Mickey Mouse ears.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse ears. So it was like very surreal, the whole thing was like definitely a mercy of Panchatattva.
Yeah.
And so I think as you mentioned, then Gopal start bringing Indra Prabhu from the next year, I think, because like it was so good, and I think it was the first trip of Indra Prabhu to Mayapur.
Okay, that was the next year then.
At least in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Or maybe like almost like ever.
Yeah.
And then since the next year, 2005, they start coming, and before Goro Purnima.
Yeah, there's some videos of that floating around of the years after that.
Yeah, it was very special. He was just the center of it, and was.
But still, I mean, maybe 300-400 devotees in the temple room, maybe 500. Like, no, it wasn't. The temple room was never packed for those kirtans. No, it wasn't like. No. It was just the devotees that wanted to be in kirtan were there, and I remember Devadharma like being a brahmachari at that time, like. Yeah. I was like, this is fine. He has like this very, very funny teeth, He was like, like very, very powerful. I remember Adirasa, he was there. Then Indra Prabhu will pull him and, make him chant. Yeah. Some very distinct memories now as we talk about. Narugopal.
Narugopal, Narugopal was also Indra. He was still brahmachari at that time. Yeah, he was brahmachari. So. It was really, really nice, and I think it just continued up to the point when the Indra Prabhu left in 2010, and then I'm not sure what I think it was a gap. 2010, 2011, I think nothing was really happening. I was here in Mayapur. Actually, I moved to Mayapur in 2010. I don't remember anything particular happening, and then. Devotees in Germany organized first Kirtan Mela in 2011. They wanted to have some regular festival,
and also New Vrindavan started 24-hour Kirtan in 2009.
Yeah.
So that was Gopal was part of that, Madhava was part of that, Gauravani, Ananta, and that also started something. Indra Prabhu was really happy about that. He gave his blessings for that. But then he passed in 2010. But that kept going. And I think from that, I remember, because then I was traveling like all over the world. We did Kirtan Melas, short, like I would say like Kirtan festivals, like, 6-hour or 12-hour or like that, like intentional chanting in Australia and Brazil, all around America, like in Europe. And then they started doing these festivals in Germany. You were part of some of the first Kirtan festivals there.
Yeah, my friends organized it, and so they invited me. I just was at that moment. So at that festival, I was responsible for prasadam or something. I came first time, brought my wife to Germany, I think. So we came first time. Remember, in this festival, first time introduced my wife to Sachinanda Swami, and so we had a really nice conversations and. It was amazing. Kadambakana Maharaj was there, Niranjana Swami was there. I think Bibi Govinda Maharaj was there. It was like a Paka Kirtan festival, and it was really the first. It was supposed to be like your Hare Krishna festival thing. That's what they were shooting for, right? And then Chaitananda Swami said, "Why don't we just do a Kirtan festival?" So, and it was Shachinanda Maharaj's idea to call it Kirtan Mela. So then, so that was first Kirtan Mela ever, like Paka, I think, 1 week long, 12 hours, just Kirtans with a break for there was no break for Prasadam. Kirtan was going on, but I think it was break for Prasadam, so it was something very special. And I think Yashamati Mataji, she saw it, and she's like, let's have it in Mayapur. So she wrote to Shachinanda Swami and said, let's have it in Mayapur. And Shachinanda Swami, because I was organizing Yoga Expo, Yoga Festival, was very closely working with him. And I just moved to Mayapur a couple years ago. Said, okay, please engage the Algoranga because he's my manager, kind of thing. And so in this way, I got mercy to be engaged, and we planned it. First, we thought, Yashamati Mataji first was planning to do it in Naimisharanya for us,
I heard a rumor about that, yeah.
There was the idea. So then, my come on, let's just do it. So where we did, let's do it in temple. We keep it, we have Panchatattva.
Yeah.
So somehow and it was massive. You guys came, the whole Mayapuris came.
Yeah, I hadn't come to India in at 3 years, I think. I hadn't come to India, maybe longer, So for me, it was a real, coming back to Mayapur, coming back to India after having traveled with Mayapuris for so long, everywhere else in the world except for India, and to sit in front of Panchatattva and just chant every time even still now, when I do that, my meditation is, it's like when you sing for Panchatattva, you're not singing for them, you're singing with them. They're with the kirtan. You're singing for their dancing, and they're chanting and dancing as well. And it's such a special, meditation, and it's irreparable anywhere else. We go to other, you can't, it's not the same, you can do kirtans in many, many different places, and there's beautiful flavor. But Mayapur, on the banks of the Ganga, in the place where Mahaprabhu started the kirtan movement, in the place where he danced, and I just think about that the dust hasn't even settled. What's 500 years? It's a blip in time. And just 500 years ago, the embodiment of love, the embodiment of the love of Radha and Krishna, the embodiment of the love of God and Goddess, of divinity, comes in form, in this golden form, and dances with all his associates, right on the the same paths that we ride our mopeds on now. It's right on the same paths. It's like, okay, is this, sometimes when you're in the kirtan, something, you feel that a little bit, and then we live here and we go back to TikTok. But
if you have VPN.
Yeah, right. It doesn't work in India, right? But there is something really special and about it. And I'm so grateful. I think because of that experience that I had with you from then, you guys invited me, you guys hosted me, gave me a place to stay. I was treated so nicely. I felt so welcome, and I think particularly you and we created like a friendship from then, and years went by and we talked about doing stuff together and go our separate ways or whatever, but now we're neighbors, and what I have a question for you, you don't have to answer it right now, but just what is your experience facilitating? Because it's one thing as a participant, and of course as a kirtan leader, I'm facilitating the experience in the moment that I'm singing. But to be an organizer of a kirtan, one of the largest kirtan festivals in the world?
Well, first of all, I feel very unqualified, and was really mercy of Shachinanda Swami, of my Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, Panchatattva. I feel like somehow or other, without being qualified, without have any, any reason really to be connected and be engaged in this service, somehow Mahaprabhu engaged me, and I always felt very grateful. It's very rewarding service. At the same time, very often it's very challenging.
Imagine.
But I kind of, I cannot imagine not doing it. It's like, if at the end of my life, I can count something that, I was able to be part of and be proud of, that would be definitely on the top of the list. And when we had this Kirtan Melas and Panchatattva was crying, you remember this year?
I wasn't here, but
he was
yes.
not here.
Yeah.
And of course, then everybody said, okay,
Yeah.
it's how to say,
the
perspiration, moisture, but it never happened ever before, never happened ever again.
Was it during Bhakti True Maharaj's Kirtan?
It was during Bhakticharu Maharaj's Kirtan. I don't remember which year it was, 2015 or something. And it was like, of course, everybody found then rational explanation. It's fine, whatever. We can always find rational explanation. But if you want to believe that Panchatattva could do it, but it was very, very, very special. It was like everybody. I think
the deities were crying. The deities were crying.
And nobody could understand. Like
it's never happened. I mean, there's been that many people in the temple room. It's been that hot. It's been that weather. It's been even hotter. There's been more people. And this one time in this kirtan, the deities have water rolling down from their eyes,
from their eyes, face. Not from anywhere else, right? From their eyes.
Yeah.
And I remember it was Jayapataka Maharaj came and he led the kirtan, and then after him, I think Bhakticharu Maharaj, I think like that, and then like everybody was, what's going on? Anyway, there was a lot of discussion afterwards. But yes, such moments are very special. There was a lot of very special moments.
But because a lot of people have been part of managing such festivals, and they kind of fizzle. Either the festival fizzles out, or the people who are part of it, they just they say, hey, someone else has to take this over. I don't want to do it anymore. But you've been in it since the beginning, and you've kind of kept it going.
Well, it's an honor. I definitely will not give it up voluntarily, just because I have better things to do, because there's no better things to do than this. If I am having an honor to do this and be part of it and somehow as a serve it, of course, at some point maybe, Krishna will push me away. You never know. I never, there's no irreplaceable people. I'm definitely not irreplaceable. I'm just a mercy case. So, as long as I able to do that, I'm very grateful. When the time comes when they say the Algoranga, okay, get out of it. Okay, I have to surrender to the will of the Lord, but I will still be grateful for all the time.
Have you been here for every single one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every single.
That's a claim. That's a claim that few people can make.
And it was quite a turbulent time. 2016, 2015, 2016, 2017. There was a lot of turmoil.
But that was one of my favorite years.
Yeah, there was a lot of turmoil. And then suddenly all seniors stopped coming, and like everybody said, okay, your Kirtan Mela will be dead in the water. And guess what? Not. And actually it's a lot of credit goes to you, to Kish, to all the youth who came and just kind of took up the baton and just carry on. And for me, like somebody was telling, if Madha was not coming, like it's not going to be Kirtan Mela, or Shachinanda Maharaj is not there, not going to be Kirtan Mela. And we proved them wrong somehow. The Kirtan Mela proves them wrong every time.
Right. With all respect to those personalities.
Of course, it would be amazing. It might have been much better if they've been there, but it was like
Yeah.
how can it get even better than this? You
Yeah.
know, like it was
Yeah.
so good. So this year, like many people came to me and
Well-
say it was the best Kirtan Mela.
Mm.
And it's actually my experience. Many people just come and say it was the best Kirtan Mela. Every time it's the best Kirtan Mela because it is. You know.
Yeah. Well, we have some maybe faith or even experience that first of all, if we're coming to Kirtan festivals over and over again, that there's a purification happening in our own hearts that's allowing us to relish the experience of the moment that's going on, of the present moment of Kirtan even more. And on top of that, I think it's a great point is that the Kirtan's got to go on, right?
Yeah.
And that's I was trying to say that this year before one of my closing Kirtans was basically, I don't know if I was clear about what I was saying, but what I was trying to say is the senior people who we've looked up to, who we adore, who we idolize, who we're fans of, who are our heroes, many of them, either some few have passed already, and many of them, they're just not physically and mentally and psychologically kind of able to put themselves into huge crowds of people and deal with the heat and deal with all the things. So they're choosing to kind of, and it's understandable, it's loud, there's a lot going on, and it's hard for all these older, people in their mid 70s now, and so I think we respect that. And that means that we have to step up our participation, our sincerity, our focus, because first of all, we're never going to fill their shoes.
Yeah.
I know I'm never going to fill any one of those personality shoes, but what I do feel that's happening with the next generation of Kirtaniyas is we support each other. And it's kind of comes back to what we were saying earlier, that we're ready to sit in each other's kirtans and be there to back each other up. Whether I get a mic, whether I don't get a mic, whether I'm just there sharing my voice as loud as I can, as sincere as I can in the response of somebody else, or when, Andhra Prabhu, when he would sing those high parts, he would look at everybody like, okay, we're in this together, like 4 or 5 of us going to sing this together, And so that's what we try to do, right? We try to, and we support each other to get there and to, and I think that the next generation, of Kirtaniyas, luckily we have these bonds, we have these friendships, a lot of our relationships are built on Kirtan. Right. I mean, my best friends that I can think of, our relationships are built on Kirtan, on us sitting together and chanting. So it's such a beautiful thing to see, but to make that effort, when I look at the schedule and I see, oh, my friend is going to be on at this time and they're going to be on at this time. Okay, I want to be there to support them in whatever way, whatever the Kirtan needs in that moment. If it just needs us to be there, I know as a Kirtan leader, I feed off of that energy, right? You feed off of that energy of if somebody's there and they're singing with you, then you're like, okay, we're fighting against Maya together, It's such a powerful and profound feeling.
Yeah, that's why it's congregational chanting. It's not like you come alone and, everybody around you are disconnected, and you can still be a good Kirtaniya, but it's way different when you have a team of friends who are there with you and supports you. And I think this team spirit is so important in Kirtan. And so you need to create, if you don't have it, you need to create this Kirtan Sangha, you need to create this Kirtan friendship, and just feed off, as you say, feed off one another's energy. And when you go high, then all of you kind of come together and just hit those notes, and the enthusiasm is there. It's not like somebody is singing and then you do your thing, wait for your turn to sing, or you just come for your kirtan and and you get out after your kirtan. So it is also a way, but it's not very I think inspiring in the long term. It's not very sustainable. And that's what I think last Kirtan Melas were very powerful, because you guys were there, particularly you, Kish, and then Bali came. So this year all three of you
Good
came,
crew.
and then you have Vrindavan crew. They stick together. Though this year we didn't have like it in full fledged. They usually come with a much bigger crowd, but still, those clusters is just kind of carries on the whole mood of Kirtan. And I think we thought means I was just born when Srila Prabhupada left, but many devotees said when Srila Prabhupada left, that who can fill up his shoes, and then many great. So it's not that we need to fill up the shoes of acharyas, but the next generation always gets empowered in their own way. Can never repeat what the others did, and we're all unique. Krishna consciousness is unique. Our relationship with Krishna is unique. Our contribution to his service is also unique. So it's just different. Like this year we have Madhurika. It's just she was singing in the middle of the day, and she went viral like hell, and she sang one time, and this melody and her singing went everywhere because it was just out of this world, something special. So a star is born, so to say. And this is how it is. Some people try to push themselves forward and be everywhere and stick themselves always in the front, and it's just not catching up. And then you have somebody who just blows everybody.
Prabhu, I've
mind.
been humble all year. I deserve the best spot at the Kirtan Mela. I've been humble all year. I'm the most humble. I deserve that spot. Isn't that? I'm sure you're dealing with that behind the scenes. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So what I feel is like I tell everybody, if you are that good, it doesn't matter if you sing with closed altar. It just Krishna will push you in front no matter what, because this is your time to shine, not because you want to shine, but because you matured, you grown up. And then we speak about a lot of people come to me and say celebrity status, or why is all these celebrities getting the spotlight and everything. And I say, I often give the example of Ajasvi. Ajasvi came here, I think 2013 or something. Nobody knew who he was, So the guy came, first Kirtan, everybody was just swept off their feet, like, what the hell is Indra, incarnate came, and then everybody. So it's not that you don't need to be there's no celebrity really. It doesn't matter how celebrity you are, if your Kirtan draws somehow, Krishna draws people's heart. I always tell, if I organize, it's my subject, I cannot take off my subjective view of whose Kirtan I like and who I feel would be the best person or Kirtaniya serving in particular time. And I cannot just take it away and kind of being generic about it. I said, if you would organize Kirtan, it would be your subjective way to think how you can serve Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, and all the devotees the best way. It will be subjective. If you cook, would be the same. If you dress the deity, would be the same. It's I was DJ before. So it's all the same song, but how you arrange them, how one come after another, and you have either the dance floor popping, or everybody goes off and you have empty dance floor. So it's all about trying to think what would be the best ingredient at this particular time. So I don't buy all these celebrity status. So I think those who became quote unquote Kirtan celebrities are those who really dedicate their life to Kirtan and just give them their all. Then just everybody love to be in their Kirtan, so they become naturally Kirtan celebrities, and you cannot take it away. It's not that they just try to be, but it's not only about Kirtan. Same with the pop culture anyway, like somebody who is famous singer, they're not just famous because they decided to be famous. They have talent, They have voice, they have heart, I think, emotion, whatever it is, to become a great singer. Something is there which is some special ingredient which is unique, and it's something which make other people, like you have the songs which go viral. Why?
Yeah.
Something is there. Of course, it's material thing,
Yeah.
but we can just extend.
It touches something in people, and that's why, because it touches something, it gets shared and gets out there, and
so I just wanted to touch. So I don't believe in Kirtan celebrity. Not every, and I'm speaking with a Kirtan celebrity. With which, so he doesn't. So, but I want to say that every Kirtan celebrity that I know are most humble and nice hearted.
I told you I've been humble all year.
Yeah, he told me every. And I believe. So it's really
genuine.
Very genuine, very humble, never try to push themselves in front. I remember one year, it was Kirtan Melas, Janava was here. So January, yeah? January was here.
Yeah.
And I came to say hi and said, I feel awkward. I think it was a time when she was like getting celebrity, when she was singing with Gauravani, she was just getting this, said, I feel very awkward. I feel like celebrity. I just don't want to have this feeling and stuff. Of course, now she's way more celebrity than was there. Mm-hmm. But she was like fighting this, and she was very uncomfortable. Say, I just don't want it. I just want to simply chant for Krishna. And this is when Krishna push you in front, Yeah. And then you cannot, you just in front to do service for him. And if you try to enjoy it or squeeze, and Krishna will push you back, Anyway, it's kind of interesting thing. So, anybody who think about being Kirtan celebrity, please become Kirtan celebrities. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to start my page.
Try to be.
And I'm going to post on there, and then I'm going to... No.
Yeah.
It's, it's been, I'll speak from my own experience. It's been interesting to experience the transitions from the older generation, from the first generation of Kirtaniyas, Prabhupada disciples, and others who are now, who are now stepping back, and to have, and like, it's interesting because when you said we can never fill Prabhupada's shoes, and I was like, I would never want to fill Prabhupada's shoes. I want to put Prabhupada's shoes on my altar and worship them and all these great personalities. I don't want to be them. I can never be them, right? It's not even about being them. It's about, just like Bharat took Ram's shoes and placed them on his head and put them on the throne and worshiped them. So in that same way, if I'm singing a specific melody that I know I got inspired by some, by Bhakti True Maharaj or by, Indra Prabhu or what, then it's like a bow to them, It's like, oh, like, yes, and I'm doing this. And what I find happening, especially this year, I found, and it started from 2016 when we started to see the active stepping back of and at first it was what's going on? Like it was like a growing pain that we were experiencing. But now it's like, now it's almost, it's inspiring in a way, because it's like, okay, here I am, I have to step up to this. And as I'm praying that in this kirtan, please let me just, all I want is that if somehow I can hold the space for everyone who's here right now to chant. That's what it's about, right? It's about the chanting. It's about everyone participating. And there's some people that can hold that space for a certain number of people, and there are some people that can hold that space for an unlimited number of people, and I mean, we haven't even mentioned, but there's the until now, there was the biggest kirtan festival in the West was in Ukraine.
Right.
We're what,
right.
12,000?
14,000.
14,000 people getting together to chant, I mean, and to be able to, and only specific personalities who have dove deep into a relationship with the holy name, right? It's like what we're doing is we're developing and we have developed and we continue to develop our relationship with the holy name. And there's this beautiful prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur where he says, Nama amani udita haya bhakata gita same, that in the congregation of the devotees, the holy name, Nama amani, by its own desire, udita haya, it starts to rise like the rising sun. So I don't make the sun rise, right? But if we're sitting around together and then the holy name chooses to rise in that congregation, then and there are obviously certain personalities that invoke that blessing, invoke that call. And that's why, I know that, and now it's interesting to see because we got the association of great personalities, great Kirtaniyas, and when they were not only when they're physically present, some have passed, but even many of them have just backed off and they kind of do their own program and they're a little less accessible to, I think, the next generation now of, devotees in their kind of 20s and younger, and so many of them they've grown up with Instagram and YouTube, and so I think there is this thought of, maybe there is this, I'm not saying for all of them, but maybe there is this conception of, oh, how did so-and-so become a Kirtan celebrity? How did so-and-so make it, And so they may be, researching to see how they can become that, right? How did if I am that, how did that happen? How did that come to be? Is, first of all, being, like I said, Sridhar Maharaj smashing, like getting smashed, getting told over and over again, being like, going off beat, and Indra Prabhu giving you that look, like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at that girl? Play mridanga, like that was training that we were getting, that we were, I remember with Bhakti True Maharaj, being in a kirtan with Bhakti True Maharaj, and I decided I'm going to play drum, and I sat down. I think I told you this experience one time, and Bhakti True Maharaj's kirtan is so sattvic, so mode of goodness. Hare Krishna, just, and so I'm like, I'm trying to like push it, and as it's going, I push it, and he just kind of looks at me and sees like how fast I can go, and I'm burning myself out, and then like we go as fast as we can't go any faster. We kind of stop, and he just goes, Hare Krishna, Hare, and goes right back into the tune, and I was like, boom, like, okay. I'm not here to control this right now. Like, I'm trying to get it enthusiastic and fired up and whatever. No, he's singing, and it's my, and that's a lesson, and that's a lesson that can only be had through the experience, and I'm remembering the lessons of those who have passed on. There's lessons that I've had from my fellow Kirtaniyas that are still here, but it's like you've been put in the fire and you're being pounded sometimes, and it's like, it's joyful and it's a great experience. It's also learning. It's also learning through the mistakes and all that. And you can't fake it. You just can't fake it, because like you said, it's either going to touch the heart or it isn't going to. If it's coming from the heart, then it's maybe going to touch some hearts. And if it isn't coming from the heart, then, if it's coming for some other reason. And, and another thing, I think both you and I can relate to this, but I think that some people like to throw out the word like show off, oh, they're showing off. Oh, they're playing this, they're singing this like fancy alap, it's a show off, or they're playing that drum, they're a show off. I think that I don't think that most Kirtaniyas are, I think they're genuinely trying to give the best that they have. 100%.
100%.
And there's, they've done the work on the musical side, You know, they're doing the practice from a musical perspective to play that beat or to do that lick on the harmonium or sing that alap or whatever. They've done the work. So this is their opportunity to offer that to Krishna.
Exactly.
You know, like, and to the other devotees. And you either, you know, and I think that if you, I don't know, I think that it's, that I don't think anyone's really trying to show off. And if there is a part of showing off, which I have showed off, and I you know, yes, I'm not, you know, without an ego and without, but it's being done in the service of the holy name. It's being done to serve. And as much as I can try and keep that mood of that I'm doing this as a service, and I'm doing this to serve the holy name, and I'm doing this to serve the Kirtan experience for everyone, then you know,
I think this is a key. This is a key point. You know, if you do it as a service and you try, like with cooking, right? Again, we talked so many times about you can boil potato, or you can cook some intrinsic sabji, or you know, beautiful
some butter and sour cream,
whatever.
Cheese,
the whole Govinda Lilamrita. See what Radharani is cooking for Krishna is so intrinsic. So it's vastly different thing. I said love is important. Yeah, love is the most important ingredient, but the artsmanship, you know, their skill, their, you know, their years of preparation and of training and experience which you can put into it to make a better offering for Krishna. Same like dressing the deity. Some, you know, of course, maybe deity dressed in the simplest clothes and you feel the love, but when the deity gorgeously dressed and you know, altar is so gorgeously decorated that even you don't have spiritual vision, you will still appreciate it, and then you get pulled into spiritual energy because your ability to appreciate these material things, beauty or taste or even music, is now connected to the spiritual, to Shabda Brahman. You make it easier for others. So this allows everything. It just touches your heart. Maybe even it's musically, but somebody who is a Kirtaniya, he said, okay, I'll just do something so beautiful for Krishna. I just want to please him. And maybe, as you said, somebody has little bit of a show off, but you know, maybe Radharani is also showing off a little bit when she cooks something, but you know, all the covered boys, of course we cannot compare ourselves to them, but you know, they have this competition. I want to do the best for Krishna and kind of show him, I prepared Krishna, I really, you know, try to do it for you. So you have this mood, and you know, it overrides. In Jaiva Dharma there's a story, I think, of Lahiri Mahashai, who was very professional singer, and he was going to different Harinam parties, and he was basically singing to show off, but he was purified by this process, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes it, and he was purified by it and became one of the greatest Vaishnavas, you know, which is you know, great protagonist, I think, in the character in Jaiva Dharma, you know. Yeah, Advaita Das.
Well, then he comes to the shelter of Vaishnava. So if we keep ourselves in the shelter of other great Kirtaniyas, then it's going to happen. And you know, I love the analogy that you're bringing of, like, you know, on a regular day, anyone can dress the deities. On a regular day, on a regular Friday or whatever, anyone's going to cook the prasadam. But when it comes to the, you know, the festival day, you're going to choose the person to dress the deities and cook the prasadam who's everyone's going to taste that bite and be like, this feast is so good. Who can facilitate that experience for everyone? So on the same way, in a festival time, the kirtans, you want them to be able to be for everyone, you know, for everyone to relish that.
Same with the Bhagavatam classes. We have so many Bhagavatam class speakers, very qualified, but on a festival, you get like creme de la creme, you know, the best Bhagavatam speakers, the most realization and most engaging for the devotees. So, you know, same, Kirtan Mela is the pinnacle of all Kirtan festivals. So this is, you know, however many people could protest, it's not a time to give somebody a chance. Whole year, everybody is getting a chance to qualify oneself and say, wow, this person is like extraordinary been in so many kirtan, I've seen this person grow, really want to.
Well, that's a really nice point
Yeah.
you're saying, is that when you see someone showing up for kirtan regularly, just showing up, just being there, then automatically you gradually want to start giving them the opportunity to sing or participate more and more. I'm talking like regular home kirtans, which, that's the other thing is home kirtans, man. A lot of people, they, especially because, I've also traveled a lot in the yoga scene outside of the ISKCON, and a lot of people, they may learn a couple of things and they immediately think, okay, how do I like sell my product? How do I get into the yoga studio scene and start performing in there? And it's like, you have to do it at home. Just do it at home. Do it with friends. Do it as a gathering. Do it as a gathering. Gather together with your little altar in your home, and the 3, 4, 5 people, whatever, and one of you can drum a little bit, and one of you can kartal a little bit, and one of you can sing a little bit. And this is what Dayal and I would like to facilitate more and more to happen, right? Is these like just grassroots gatherings of people for kirtans. And I mean, you've hosted some of my favorite kirtans here in Mayapur have been sitting here in your living room with 15 people, and it's like just as internally ecstatic as being it with 4,000 people, but it's a special experience. And when we do this, we're churning. Mahaprabhu, he was down the road in Srivas Angan with his associates, and they were churning. Every evening they're getting together and doing kirtan. They didn't go out and spread it out to the public. First they were just churning it with each other, developing those relationships, maybe trying, I don't know, I'm speculating, but trying a new melody, trying a different beat, trying a dance move, seeing how it flows, I mean, and then from a musical or practical perspective and from a spiritual perspective, I can't even speak to that. But, that's what we do. That's what Kish and Bali and Juggy and we used to do, is that, get together and, hey, check out this melody. Check it out, how it goes here. Oh, what's the sa on that? I don't even know, but, whatever. Let's try it out. Next kirtan, try it out. And then somebody comes up with another part to it, and let's try it in this beat. Let's switch it to here, and this is something that happens. It's, woodshedding, a lot of woodshedding. And I think both you and I, we would like to facilitate that experience for people where they learn, where they get the skills, and they start to get the skills to start in small circles, small home gatherings. And, we sing at birthdays, we sing at death days, we sing at graduations, we sing at weddings, we sing at, bar mitzvahs, whatever, so bring us there, we'll chant, but that's the way it should be. And tell us a little, what inspired you to then, when did you start Kirtan Academies?
Well, that was just next year after Kirtan Mela. And I was just thinking that we have this Bhakti Shastri, we have Bhakti Vaibhav, we have a lot of different courses, we have deity worship course, but we don't have anything connected with Kirtan, like systematic Kirtan education. And so I spoke with Yashamati Mataji and with Sachinanda Maharaj about it, and so he gave us blessings. And in 2013 we started our first Kirtan Academy. It was amazing. We started it, we didn't know what we are doing really. We said, okay, let's start and figure it out. And we had a blast. We had amazing, we had, like, of course, Sachinanda Maharaj came, he supported, and Lakanath Maharaj came, Kadamakana Maharaj came, Bhakticharu Maharaj came. I think first year we had like celebrity after celebrity after celebrity, like big kirtaniers, big names. They were just giving like a week long or something, or maybe even couple days seminars. Harishauri Prabhu was speaking about Srila Prabhupada. And so first we did a lot of emphasis on philosophy, and then we kind of did emphasize music, but then gradually it starts shifting because we realize that we want those who come really get some tangible musical abilities, because we do have Bhakti Shastri, and yeah, we absolutely need to emphasize the mood, but we need to give people the skills. So over the years we kind of was honing and figuring out and refining the curriculum up to this year, and I launched Kirtan Academy online, also just condensing and refining. I think I'm very happy, and our students were super ecstatic this year what we could give them in 2 months, and it was not super intense, and something which we are planning now would be even more intense, even more kind of fully absorbing and like just swimming emerging into Kirtan. So yeah, it was like year after year after year, it was refining the curriculum, seeing so many wonderful devotees coming through, a lot of support from senior devotees, and I think we did it only on pandemic time. It was the first year or 2 years actually we didn't have Kirtan Academy. This year we started it again, and maybe we'll start doing it couple times a year also. But since that time I was thinking about creating something which is like a yoga teacher training, but for Kirtan, like a Paka 200-300 hours intensive program with full absorption, full immersive experience, and that's taking that experience and of course kind of partnering with you and having all of your experience of teaching and bringing Kirtan especially to new people, from various backgrounds, especially backgrounds outside of traditional bhakti school, from yoga scene and anything around it. We kind of that's the something which I'm very excited about, and super excited that we're doing it together. And I think it will be like it will be a completely new amazing experience which we will have as a co-facilitators of the course. We brought the best teachers which we could think of. Of course, Vishwambar himself is amazing. He can teach everything himself, so he will be there supervising everything and giving a lot of his personal attention and input, as well as myself, also helping you to understand how to create Kirtan events and have it not only in terms of being a Kirtan leader and Kirtan teacher, but also Kirtan facilitator and somebody who can create the wave of Kirtan and the ripple effect wherever you are, wherever you stay, whatever your environment is, and we will keep on supporting you. So not only education, we will have all support in when you come back and you want to launch your education or your Kirtan events and everything. We will be there to help you with whatever resources we can, because our desire is that Kirtan becomes like a cancer, and spread, far and wide throughout the world. So it will be a good cancer, viral, become viral, and it just takes over. And instead of quarreling or gossiping or doing whatever, and drinking, going to clubs, just go to Kirtan and have your connection with the divine, connection with God, connection with yourself, and Kirtan is the ultimate expression of love, So we want to be able to facilitate this for the people who would come for our intensive Kirtan teacher training course. It is the first time ever in history, so I'm always lucky to somehow in Kirtan be somewhere where something like a first Kirtan Mela or first Kirtan Academy, and now first Kirtan, and I'm very honored and very happy that I can do it with my friend Vishwambar, and I think we will have a blast, and we could give so much to anybody who would come and create unforgettable life altering experience. That's at least our intention and our meditation and our prayer, that we get all empowerment and all the blessings we can to do it for our students.
Absolutely. I mean, you've been doing Kirtan Academy for 10 years now.
Yeah, 10 years.
So this is, so on the 10th year now, we're offering this very, very special, unique thing. And, I just in February, I hosted a retreat, because I've been doing annual retreats to India now for also about 10 years. And I take people mainly on pilgrimage. We go to different places. We've done the Kumbh Mela, we've gone to Nathdwara, we've gone to Tirupati, we've done Nepal, Himalayas, all these different things. And every time I would want to do like a Kirtan training aspect to it. And maybe we'd get in like a workshop, like a 2-hour like little raga singing workshop. And of course we do a lot of Kirtan, but to actually sit with the instruments, sit with our voice, it's something that I wanted to do for 10 years. And so the first time ever we did a retreat here in Mayapur, a 2-week retreat, and my friends from America and Germany and Italy and other parts of the world came together, and we had daily mridanga class, daily harmonium class, kartal classes, how to use your voice, things like that. And it was really nice. And then, of course, to be in Mayapur, the land of Kirtan, the birthplace of Kirtan, the land of Mahaprabhu, where each story that we tell, each pastime that is there of Mahaprabhu or any of his associates is so powerfully connected with the practice of Kirtan, is put into practical application in Kirtan, to visit the home of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, to go to Srivas Angan where the Kirtan started. So these were experiences that we got to share, and then we started talking, and we were like, okay, but we need this, like, if people are really gonna immerse in and really be able to leave with something very practical, it needs to be 3 to 4 weeks. And this is something that we've talked about, because you've been doing your Kirtan Academies. Trainings are generally 2 months, but they're non-residential, right? I mean, everyone has their own. Right. Everyone has their own place, and they come and come for a few hours.
3 hours every
right.
day, yeah.
So now we're offering in this immersion that we're offering. It's a residential. All staying is taken care of, accommodation is taken care of, all meals are taken care of, all sattvic prasad offerings cooked by people that themselves are doing Kirtan, that themselves practice Kirtan, and from morning, from waking up, with waking up to mantras, waking up to the practice of learning verses that immerse us deep into the practice, learning how to meditate with the holy name to continue to develop that very personal and intimate relationship with the holy name. And then visiting the temples in the morning and experiencing the beautiful sunrise here in Mayapur. The Mayapur dawns are like, breathtaking here. To sit on the Jalangi, sit on the river and watch the sunrise. It's such a blessing. And then during the day, after, a great breakfast, and I'm not going through the whole schedule, but just to give an idea of our flow and our ideas around this, and then go into practical music study, understand the voice, understand the culture of the voice, understand how to express my love. I love how you said that Kirtan is the ultimate expression of love. And so we want to refine that. We want to refine that with our voice. So working with great vocal coaches to refine our voice, to practice that, and then practically how to move our fingers on the harmonium and hear the melody that we want to play, and then match it with our voice, and then all the intricacies of rhythm that come along with that. There's a language of music, there's a language of melody, there's a language of rhythm. So we're going to explore that very deeply, to really understand the nuances of what's going on. How is that rhythm going from one place to another, which builds the ecstasy, the feeling of ecstasy in a kirtan, or dynamics of how to go loud and how to go soft, and these are all things that we'll learn practically playing the drum, learn rhythms to play in a kirtan, basic rhythms, learn how to play the kartals. I mean, every person who participates in a kirtan should know how to play kartals. And actually, you'll be surprised that there's a lot of people that have been in kirtan for 40 years and they still don't quite know how to play kartals. And there's never really been a course out there that has trained people how to do it. So some people get it, and they just, through experience, and like us, we kind of just got hammered and sitting in it for years and years and figuring it out ourselves. But there's also a lot of people out there that don't have the opportunities like we do to sit in a Kirtan Mela in Mayapur for 10 years in a row, So what do we, so we want to offer this for all of you, and then the other part of it that I'm really excited to offer is specific tunes, specific bhajans, or specific dhuns, which are like short mantras or short songs, names of Krishna, names of various of personalities that we can learn together and study. What is this meaning of this? How do we pronounce this? What is the right pronunciation? There's a lot of people that are pronouncing the mantras improperly, and it's beautiful. It's okay. But if you're a kirtan leader, if you're going to be a teacher, a trainer in kirtan, then it's good to know what you're saying and understand the meaning behind it. So I'm really looking forward to that part of it. And of course, we'll go and visit. We'll take excursions and go visit various places, and we'll be taking care of all your needs, all of the needs for the time that we're together in this training. We'll be at your service, and Dayal has done this now for 10 years. He's honed his curriculum for teaching on a very practical level. What is to be learnt in this time, so that you can go back to your homes, go back to your yoga studios, go back to your your communities, and start sharing kirtan. Whether and the beautiful thing, that we haven't even talked about this, but what I could imagine is if people come as a group, like if 2 or 3 people from a specific community come together, one of them can focus on the drumming, one of them can focus on the voice, and the thing that you bring, which is facilitating kirtan experiences for communities, for gatherings. I think that this will be a great offering to all kirtan enthusiasts. And there's no better place that we can think of of hosting something like this than right here in Mayapur, the birthplace of Kirtan, the capital of Kirtan, where any time of day or night you can go and sit down in the bhajan kutir, and you can sit and chant there and practically apply what you're learning during the day and during the weeks together into practical application. So this is what we're offering, and as you can tell, we're just stoked. We're excited, super excited about it.
Yes, as you're talking, Vish, I'm thinking that actually what we want to achieve with this also is to have such a build with our group, such a friendship, and and
camaraderie.
I've been a coach also, and besides being in a Kirtan scene and facilitating, I've been professionally coaching people for the last, I think, 7 years. And so I want to bring all this experience to create the group dynamics where we end up, loving and rooting for each other, and
Supporting.
instead of creating kind of competitive environment, we'll create a supportive environment where you'll become friends for life and you'll support each other wherever you are, and this community will keep on growing and become stronger, meaning your classmates, you will be remembering this time for the rest of. We want to have you, and we do our best that you will remember this time here as the best time of your life. And we are very dedicated for this, we're very dedicated to this. And so this interpersonal relationship and the relationship with the Holy Name, relationship with the Kirtan, and we also brought, as Vish said, the best vocal trainer. Like, I'm super excited. Golokanath, he's a prodigy. He one of the best vocalists I've ever seen, and I'm pretty sure
Absolutely.
Vish can say the same. And
Mad respect.
and then and also he's amazing teacher. Amazing teacher. He can translate whatever he knows in such a way, interesting and easy way to digest and be inspired and practice besides whatever we learn. So in our schedule will be basically 2.5 hours of harmonium every day, including your practice. You will not need to practice separate. So we build it in such a way that you're learning new material and practice will be under supervision of the teacher. So you don't need to worry and rely on your willpower, to figure something outside. And same would be with the drum,
We facilitate the practice.
We will facilitate you the practice among yourself immediately there. So 2.5 hours harmonium vocals, 2.5 hours of karatals and mridanga. Plus we will have kirtan together. Plus amazing prasadam. We'll have a best cooks to prepare healthy vegan and vegetarian, whatever your diet is. And so, and have nice time where we can also share. We'll have play time where we'll have our philosophical discussion, discussing the mood, and also helping you to understand how you will be teaching, because it's teacher training, and give you all the tips and give you all the curriculum. Moreover, everything we will teach you will be, we already have a lot of it recorded, and something will be recorded, and you will have access to all the materials, both in forms of documents and in forms of recorded video, for you to hone your skills as you leave the place. And of course, if you stay, we guarantee you will be easily follow and support any kirtan, with the basic mridanga beats and karatals. It's 1 month, so we're not saying you will be drumming on the level of Vishwambar, but you will be good enough to support any kirtan, and whenever you are, people will be happy that you are there. You will be able to lead kirtan, support kirtan, and you will have all the tools, all the curriculum, everything given with you, and our at least 1 year support afterwards, and see that you are coming wherever you are and actually unfolding your teacher, kirtan teaching, and kirtan facilitation, organizing in your yoga studios, in your home programs, and just spread this culture of kirtan. So we are super stoked, super excited, as you could see. And we know that, we already given our best, and we still have, so our training will start on the 20th of November. We have 4 weeks till the 17th of December. This is the date. The date's already fixed. It will be here in Mayapur. We will meet you at the airport, and from that point on, you will be fully taken care of. And then we deliver you back to your plane, and you go to the place of your residence. Until that time, we speak with Vish every day, and we already have amazing program, but we're thinking how to make it better, and we still have quite a few months to kind of,
even it out,
to make it even better and make it better. So we are very, very, very excited for this program to happen and to make it happen to all of you. So please, if you're interested, reach out to us. If you see this on YouTube, there will be description in how to contact us. There will be description on the YouTube video. If you see it on Instagram, there will be should be something in the bio, where you could reach out to us or DM us. We'll give you all the details. And places unfortunately are limited. We cannot host more than 30 people for this event, and we already have quite few people reaching out to us. So please, if you think about it, don't delay too much, because we would be really sad if you wanted to come and we will not be able to take you this year, because just for the logistics reason, for the place, we only have facilities for 30 people. And also we want to have it in such a way that each and every of our students given a lot of personal attention and feel like it's a very, very personalized, very individualized, very tailored experience for them. So that's something which we are looking forward to, and hope some of you will be joining us in this journey.
I think between Dayal and I, we're offering many decades of experience being in and facilitating Kirtan experiences for a very wide variety of groups, whether it's devotees, bhakti practitioners, or the wider kind of the more wider community that has started to take to bhakti, take to kirtan. And so what we're offering is going to be, it's on multiple levels. We're wanting to cover many different levels, obviously from a practical, logistical level of being able to take what is learnt in this course, in this training, and be able to replicate it in your own kirtans and your own communities, but also to get inspiration in the heart level, on the deep level, what we call the moods of kirtan, and that comes through the philosophy or the teachings of the kirtan, the stories and the philosophy that teach us about the mood, and so that those are some of the we want to cover on multiple levels. And Dayal, as a coach and as a facilitator of the largest kirtan festival in the world, to show us, to teach us practical applications of how to bring community together, how to get a community, how to start kirtans in your own places if you aren't already doing that. And for those of you that are doing that, this will be a great time to take what you offer to the next level, to a deeper level, and to be able to have really the formula that you can then share with others to start to inspire others in your community to also take the kirtan. As we said, we want this to go viral. I mean, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where it said that when he would dance in a village, the 8, 9, 10, 12,000 people would gather around, and they would all be in ecstasy seeing this 7 foot tall with arms that reached over 11 feet tall, golden form, beautiful lotus eyes, broad chest, dancing and crying in ecstasy. And they would see that, and they would all become infected with this love. And then they would go back to their villages, and they would start kirtan there because they couldn't stop chanting. I mean, once you hear Mahaprabhu and see Mahaprabhu chanting, you're not going to ever stop chanting. You're going to go back. So they would go back to their villages, and everyone that was around them would then suddenly start chanting. And it was just this dominoes effect that was created, and that started, and all comes from this place, from Mayapur Dham. So this is why we chose to be here. We live here. Dayal has been here for a long time. I've been here now a year, and going on a year, and I can't wait to say I'm a resident. I'm still working on that. But, being a resident of the Dham is also something of the heart, that you just allow the Dham to really enter in. This land of Mayapur is very merciful. It's called the Odarya Dham. Odarya Dham means the place of giving, the place of mercy. So this place, the mercy is very, very accessible. It's just below the surface, and the layers are not... The layers are not too intense here. If some of you have been to India, you may know that India can be an intense place. But Mayapur is there's a city here. There's a small city that is based on the principles of bhakti. There's a city here that's based on non-violence, on a vegetarian diet, on living and breathing the philosophy and the teachings of Sri Chaitanya, the founder of the Kirtan tradition, to really embody that lifestyle. Everything here is conducive. The whole atmosphere here is conducive to developing a deep relation to Kirtan, and that's what this whole community and small city has been built around. Is that, and of course the epitome of that, or the highest the expression of that, is when we come together at our Kirtan Melas, which is what we kind of started out talking about, and then just in full voice and full surrender, giving ourselves up. But this is going to be this immersion. I'm looking forward to an immersion for myself. What to speak of sharing that immersion with others. And the mood of Chaitanya is that whatever we have, we want to give that to others. And so Dayal and I are just trying to embody that mood, that whatever we've been given from our teachers, whatever we've beautiful experiences or growth experiences that we've had in our kirtan and in our bhakti journey, to share that with all of you who come in this. And I think that this podcast right now is probably the most excited we've ever been, because we're talking about the thing that we love the most, right?
I was just about to say that I wanted to tell so much more about stories, connected with Kirtan Mela and Kirtan. I think we need to make a part 2 of it.
We'll do it again. Absolutely.
But now we went, I think, well over 1 hour, and you have to bring your daughter to the violin lesson.
Yes.
So guys, we have to finish right now, however excited we are, but we'll come back soon and we'll continue the story of Kirtan Mayapur, Kirtan Mela, and our Kirtan experience. I hope you enjoyed it. We definitely enjoy it. Very difficult to stop, and I think we have so much more to tell. So keep on looking for the part 2. We'll do it, and we'll continue the story. Thank you very much for being with us today after a long time. Thanks, Vish, for for keeping the company and sharing this amazing experience of podcast. I'm very grateful that we that we can do it together. And super excited for you guys to come to Mayapur and experience this amazing immersion in Kirtan with us, those of you who can make it. Looking forward to see all of you here.
Thanks to all the listeners of the Bhakti Zone podcast. Be well, stay connected. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.